Welcome to Horse Racing Gamer, where champions are made.
So I didn't have time to make this video as of yesterday's Kentucky Derby since I'm uploading this the day after, but we literally witnessed history. I didn't even know that Rich Strike was even in this field. And you know what's actually crazy? My girlfriend that was watching her first Kentucky Derby ever, I promise you, she had never watched one. And she said, that horse looks really good. That horse looks really strong. Who is that? And I'm like, I have no idea. I didn't even realize that horse was entered into the race, obviously, a day before the Derby, and in pretty close time. Rich Strike winning the 148th Kentucky Derby. A horse that, let's be honest, the average person didn't know anything about, still don't know much about, but was just entered into the Derby last minute and ended up giving one of the best Derby performances I've ever watched in my life. Somebody mentioned it in my comments, and I don't remember if it was Jason or somebody else, when it came to talking about closers. I didn't mention that horse because I didn't even know the horse was in the race, but I mentioned wanting to see a horse win as a closer. Rich Strike ran that race as textbook as a closing horse can run a race and win. And he did it on the biggest stage here of the Kentucky Derby here in the States. I mean, what a freaking race. The pace was hot. I mean, they were all great horses in that field. It doesn't matter where they finished. They were all fantastic, beautiful creatures, beautiful animals in that field. All very strong, all very fast. Again, that opening half mile was, 45 and something. I mean, they were flying. We knew the pace was going to be hot, especially this year. Epicenter and Zandon in the stretch. They are battling it out. And Rich Strike, the horse didn't need a whole lot of guidance. That is what I really appreciated when I rewatched this race back several times. It's like as soon as that horse broke from the gate, immediately went to the inside rail and just kept position, saving a lot of ground. You get to the backstretch, slowly starting to move up, slowly starting to creep. And then you get into the last, turns 3 and 4, where you get to a quarter of the race left. I mean, between a quarter and about a half, you can start to see horses starting to move, horses starting to pick up momentum. And then in deep stretch, didn't need a whole lot of guidance from the jockey. The horse, his head was moved a little bit, then he straightened back up, and boom, he flies right by Epicenter and Zandon to get by them at the wire within the last half furlong. I mean, my gosh, what a race, what a horse, what a strong horse. I was wondering what he didn't like particularly about that horse that obviously that Outrider was on. He did not like that horse because it seemed like after he was away from that horse, he was much more calm, much more relaxed. So for some of you that may have more insight and knowledge about that when it comes to just horse behavior and etiquette, what do you think was the cause of him seeming unsettled being around that horse, constantly trying to bite at that horse's neck? I didn't understand it, or didn't understand really what was happening, but I'm sure some of you probably have a better idea of what that may have been about. My girlfriend asked me, and I'm like, to be honest with you, I have no idea. Like, I don't see that often, so I'm not sure what that really means when it comes to horses. But Rich Strike, what a beautiful colt, strong-looking colt. Like I said, that's the first thing my girlfriend pointed out. She's like, she's like, that 21 horse looks really, really strong. And I'm like, they're all strong horses, but in her eyes, she thought that horse looked stronger than the rest. And of course, that's not always an indicator that the horse is going to win, but she looked at that horse. I didn't know who it was. And she's like, there's something about that horse that looks really special. And it ends up winning the Kentucky Derby. So I may have someone that has a better eye for kind of seeing the winners than maybe I do. And I've been into this for over 20 years of my life, mainly as a casual fan. But I mean, I have been around horses a while, at least for the thoroughbreds here in the States. And what a freaking race. I mean, I can't say it enough. Watching it back, it's like Rich Strike literally ran that race as a closer and won it. I mean, that doesn't happen. And at the odds of 80-1, morning line odds 30-1, 99, it's like, what? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to think that we all who watched that race witnessed a historic Kentucky Derby. The title of this video is not an exaggeration. That is going to go down in history. The second biggest long shot to win the Kentucky Derby in the race's history. I mean, history was made. What an absolutely historic Derby. The conditions were fantastic. I was hoping it wasn't going to be a sloppy race or anything because there has been raining a lot here in the States, especially in the Midwest within the last week. And a lot of us were concerned about that. And we had really, really solid conditions. It was an absolutely beautiful, magnificent day. And what a race. I love seeing the horses run, man. Regardless of whether or not you're somebody that wages, whether you're actually in the industry, I think most of us can say we all just appreciate watching these beautiful animals run in the prime of their lives as 3-year-olds, essentially Olympic athletes conditioning for humans. That's what these horses are. And to see them running that distance, 1.25 miles, and showing their absolute hearts out. And it's amazing, man. It's why I love horse racing. I just love seeing them actually run. It's something very therapeutic about it for me, something very relaxing. The horses are very intelligent creatures in their own right. You know, if they don't like something, they have their ways of communicating that to you. Obviously, all of us know that. It's just amazing just to see them run the way they do in these derbies, especially when it's a field of very, very fast horses that are running at a very fast pace compared to previous years. So absolutely amazing Kentucky Derby. Rich Strike ends up winning it again. Epicenter and Zandon for the 2-3 there for place and show. Simplification still got up there for a 4th place finish. That wasn't a bad result. Mo Donegal ended up finishing 5th. Barber Road 6th. Tawny Port 7th. Smile Happy 8th. Tis the Bomb 9th. Zozos 10th. Classic Causeway 11th. Taba 12th. Crown Pride, from Japan 13th. Happy Jack 14th. Messier was there initially, completely tired out. Same with Summer is Tomorrow, but Messier finished 15th. Wyatt Barrio, he wasn't looking good out of the gates. I didn't have many expectations. I basically wagered like pocket change. It was nothing serious, so I wasn't even upset about him finishing in 16th. Just wasn't the race for him. Charge at 17th, Cyberknife 18th, Pioneer of Medina 19th, and then the long shot who carried that fast opening half-mile pace, Summers Tomorrow 20th. Absolutely amazing Kentucky Derby. We literally witnessed history, and I got to say, I feel very fortunate that I got to witness a Kentucky Derby race that's going to be talked about, not just for a couple of months, not a couple of years, but like this is going to go down in the history books. This race will be talked about for decades, and to think all of us that at least watched it or at least rewatched the replays, we got to witness that. I mean, that's very special. Everybody can't say they've been able to have that opportunity. So you guys let me know your thoughts on the Derby. I thought it was an amazing race. I see a lot of other people also agree. One of the best races they've watched. Feel very blessed to have seen that. And like I said, just an amazing field of amazing horses. The presentation, everything was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. So guys, feel free to let me know your thoughts. If you're new, make sure to subscribe to the channel for weekly horse racing content. Of course, if you guys can see by the videos and the thumbnails, we mainly play horse racing gaming, but I'm considering talking more about horse racing, at least in the States. I would like to expand my horizons outside of just America and talk about horse racing in Europe, though there's a lot more I need to become familiar with in Europe. Obviously, I'm kind of a big fan of horse racing in the Asia circuits, you know, Japan, South Korea, but still I haven't been actively following those as I used to. So I'm considering expanding. So if you are down for that, please leave a like on the video. I approach horse racing from a very casual perspective. I think that's the best way to explain things. Like my girlfriend understands things more now because I explained it in the most simplest way where she can understand when she's watching races what is happening. I think for anybody getting into the sport, for anybody that's not exactly knowledgeable about it, that's kind of the best way to do it. Sometimes trying to explain things in an overtly complicated way from language that we know as horse racing fans, but the casual fan has no idea about, that doesn't help, you know what I mean? So I try my best to always talk about things in a very simple layman terms way. That way everybody that's watching or listening can understand, you know, what I'm talking about. And naturally, that's just how I talk anyways. I don't think it's necessary to make things more complicated to try to appear like you're smarter than the rest, like, or whatever. That's not the point. So again, if you would like to hear me talk about horse racing more, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will certainly start to push out more content. I'm still a little bit nervous about doing it because it's something I've never done despite being into the sport for over 20 years of my life. It's just always been a very casual thing I've enjoyed as a sport, nothing that I've really talked into great detail about outside of my small circle. So again, you guys let me know, and I would be more than happy to start rolling out more horse racing discussion content alongside the gaming on this channel. Appreciate you guys. Much love, much support. Again, let me know your thoughts. Comment section below if you would like to do so. But until next time, Horse Racing Gamer signing out. Hope you all have a great, fantastic day. So see you later, and goodbye.